So I'm going to be working on uncertainty reduction theory, which focuses on how human communications is used to gain knowledge and create understanding. The need to reduce uncertainty when we meet another person comes from one of three things. We either know that we'll see them for sure again, they have something we want, or they act weird in a certain way. Sometimes it's a combination of two of them, and sometimes it's a combination of all three. There's at least two kinds of uncertainty, which deals there's two kinds of uncertainty. There's behavioral and cognitive uncertainty. Behavioral uncertainty deals with things like, how do we behave in front of this person? Do we shake their hand? Do we give them a hug? If we invite them out to lunch, who pays for the meal? And other things like this. Thankfully, there are certain protocols and norms that can help us deal with this kind of situations, and good manners and common courtesy actually go a very long way. The second kind of uncertainty is centered around cognitive questions that help us discover who the other person is as an individual, like what makes them special or unique. What kind of job do they have? What do they enjoy about their job? What kind of pet peeves do they have? What makes them mad, sad, or happy? Are they introverts? Are they extroverts? And when we meet someone new, these are the kind of questions we try to answer, and we try to come up with different characteristics about this person by answering these questions that we have. Reducing cognitive uncertainty means that we gain enough information about this person that we actually reduce a lot of the possibilities that we made up in our mind. Like, we reduce a lot of the characteristics that they might have, who they actually are. This is the kind of uncertainty reduction that Chuck Berger is talking about in this chapter. And although he's the main theorist behind uncertainty reduction theory, Fritz Hayter and later Malcolm Parks and Maria Edelman influenced some of his work as well. Now, we know that we have certain level of uncertainty when we meet someone, and how do we minimize this issue? How do we get a little bit more comfortable when we walk up to somebody and meet them, or when we go into the workplace and we meet somebody new? Berger proposes 8 self-evident truths that help with relationship development. So he proposes verbal communication, which he explains that the more we talk, the more we get to know each other. He's nonverbal warmth, which is kind of like head nods, smiles, eye contact that can help us read a person and get a better understanding of who they are, and we also tend to get a little bit more comfortable with them. There's also information seeking. The more we know about this person, the more we understand them, reducing the need for us to ask more information, and therefore reducing uncertainty. There's self-disclosure. The more intimate details that we reveal about ourselves, we also help release that uncertainty of, who this person is or how they're going to react. Reciprocity, releasing right about the same amount of information as the other person is doing as well, to strengthen the relationship and reduce uncertainty. There's similarity. The more alike you are with this person, the more you'll understand them. Liking, the more you find out about them, the more you appreciate them. And the last one is shared networks, which was actually not part of Berger's original of his original truths. It was actually added by Malcolm Parks and Maria Edelman, which Berger later accepted and recognized that it was a good addition to these truths. That was that the more networks they have in common, the closer they'll grow, and the less uncertainty that the relationship will have. Some of the critiques that I do have about this theory is that self-disclosure. Sometimes people share too much too quickly, and they make the situation uncomfortable. So if we say something about ourselves that maybe is a little bit strong, or that is not there in the relationship yet, like we don't have that level of confidence in the relationship, we can often make the situation uncomfortable, and the other person is not going to know how to react, and it's going to increase the uncertainty of the situation. The other thing is liking. I don't feel like we will always like another person. Like the more we talk, the more we like them. I feel like sometimes there's given situations whenever we meet a new individual and we start talking to them and they sound like a good person, but the more we actually learn about this person, the more we dislike them and the more farther away we want to get from them. It doesn't happen very often, but it increases uncertainty a lot, and it I don't feel like fits the pattern completely. And another one is information seeking. If our relationship gets stronger and we do form a bond later on, or if we continue with our relationship, if we continue to talk, when do we stop seeking this kind of information? People change over time. They don't do it very often and they don't do it very quickly, but the things that we like and the things that we do change over time. And when do we stop seeking this kind of information? If we stop keeping up with this person, if we stop asking questions, if we stop seeking more information, then the uncertainty is going to go up instead of down.